Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
That's a real question now. Back in 2007, ADV and Genion pretty much went Tango Uniform back in AX. You know, it was kind of a big deal, and I was just wondering, you know, I was leaving it, pretty much leaves Funimation, Bandai, and maybe a couple of others. Just wondering, has it been hard to get work since then? In either anime or mainstream cartoons?
Oh yeah, well I can speak for anime because they've done quite a bit of it. It has. I think part of it, you know, was the recession and the reason that people were downloading stuff off the internet. And what's happened is that Japan, from what I've heard or read in different articles, isn't producing as much stuff as they used to. And the stuff that they are producing is more of the hentai type of thing. So, and then what happened was after we had a lot of work going when Saban Entertainment was here, and then when he sold that company, a lot of the other companies were sort of undercutting as far as like the rates and things like that, so they were getting more and more non-union people to work. And then all of a sudden a lot of stuff just moved to Texas and other areas. So it's been a little bit, yeah, it's been different. You know, there's not as much product coming up, and there's also the a lot more competition as far as working in Los Angeles. I think that's probably true for a lot of
that was a
regular.
good answer. I was just
I think it's
what
true
she said.
for animation too. I mean, I think
animation's just changed so much in the last. You know, I would say. Well, I always attributed it to when Robin Williams did. What was the
Everybody attributes it to
Aladdin. You know, which I was fortunate enough to work on, but ever since he did this huge article in the Times saying this is the best job ever, every celebrity in town wants to do it, and so it's kind of for us voiceover actors who've, you know, worked and studied and done all our homework. We kind of are just fortunate if we get into the movie, let alone one of the leads or something.
right.
In fact, there was, I think it was the New York Times that very recently, like within the last month, there was an article about how that was the beginning.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought I made that up.
You did, because you said
I'm
that
glad
before
they
a
backed
month
me
ago.
up.
They backed you up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little on the dry side. I think the thing that's been pretty busy are video games. That's still pretty much going. For me personally, I think a lot of the video games are mainly men. So I've gone off to do other things like blogging and you know that type of thing.
Yeah, me too.
Do you guys have any favorite episodes?
Favorite episodes?
We did talk about favorite
Yeah, we
episodes.
did. You talked about your favorite upstairs or downstairs, wherever we
were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked being bad. That was fun. It was more fun than the Tenchi, you know, the
we were
begging
all
for love.
loving Tenchi. We were all on the same page with that one.
When we were recording, I think what a lot of people don't realize is that we're just handed this script, and you know, maybe we'll go from one episode to the next, but we don't really know what episode it is or what the name of it is, because sometimes they rename them, you know, after they've been recorded. So they just are sort of, they become kind of a big blur. Like we can remember maybe little scenes and things. I mean, for me, I was mentioning in the other room that it wasn't even Mihoshi, the one that I remembered. I played a karaoke singing mom, which is something I almost never get cast for, at least especially back then, because there were other people that would play moms. I always played the little girls. Right. And it was fun because she was like this really crazy, off-the-wall, loud, you know, insane kind of character, so it was fun to play. I mean, Mihoshi was too, actually.
Yeah, she I just remember a lot of yelling and screaming, and sometimes, you know, that we would save all the real fighting for the end of the session, because even if you have warmed up and you've trained your voice and you know what you're doing, that much screaming and yelling is still going to be hard on you. And so we would always wait until the end for all the real kind of stuff. You know, if Ryoko had a bone to pick with somebody, she picked it at the end of the session.
She usually did.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
When you guys when you guys went from doing the OVA, the TV series, to doing the movies, was there a big change? Because I noticed there was a change in the sound quality between the two. Was there a big change on how much prep time you guys had and the equipment that was used, or was it pretty much still?
Prep time's always about the same. Yeah. Literally, I think I said this, you know, in the other room. Literally, you're given your script like, "Hey, Rebecca, great to see you. Okay, you're going to be doing. Let's ready to go." You know, and you have no idea what came before or after your little bit. So that's pretty much the same as doing it in the movie. The only thing that changed were we had different directors and producers and.
There's no prep time. The only thing I can think of as far as a change in sound quality might be a change in studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you guys did change studios?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. From time to time.
And I went through about 3 studios at least.
I find that, don't you, like, in doing our games or whatever anime we're doing, you have your favorite studio and your favorite engineer and the mic that really likes you, and then there's other places you go and the mic just does not want to be your friend that day, you know, and you're popping and hissing.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
So it's you do get to have your favorite studios as you do things.
I think probably the ones that were done at Screen Music, which is it's not there anymore, but it was a really, really nice studio. I think they probably had the better sound quality. And then I remember we moved to another, at one point, I don't even know what part of it was. We were at some little kind of funky looking place. I don't know.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. You kind of snuck in the back door.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Recording studios can be really funny, you know, because they can be just, you know, in a really fancy place to like a little tiny phone booth kind of thing.
There's places where they fix you lunch, and not only that, but they ask you, what do you want for lunch? And you can say, well, what can I have? And they say, anything.
Yeah.
Or then there's the place where, you know, they stick you back in the corner, and they've got that rubber stuff on the walls.
Yeah.
No place to sit. Yeah, they're all different. Sorry, you had a question.
I was just going to ask how hard it is to get in and out of character, and like if sometimes you start thinking of the other characters you've played in the past when you're, trying to do your voice acting.
I think I'm sorry.
No, you go.
Okay. One of the things that I think all actors do, regardless of voice acting or stage or film or whatever, the really good actors know how to be in character and really, something about really believing what they're doing, believing in what they're doing. Screen actors, you see that they have one take to do something really dramatic, and then, they go sit and have a cigarette or something, and then they come back and they do that thing again, and but they have to be able to throw themselves into that moment, and voice actors do it too. It's a level of concentration that, with practice, you can achieve when it's time to sit down and work, and you're aware that your production, whatever production you're in, is on a budget. It's time is money, and they put a lot into getting everything ready for that moment when you come in and do your thing. And so you really want to bring it. That's your job.
You don't have a lot of time to sit and think about your, who was I or who am I?
You do all that before you get there.
I find too is like, especially like if I'm doing, little girls come to me really easy. Moms are a little harder because our voices are light. Or little boys. If I'm doing a little boy and stuff, I actually do physical. I stand like a little boy at the mic, and and all of those little tricks will help you just immediately just be ready when they say, go.
I think also a lot of people don't realize that when you're dubbing, it's a whole different kind of technique than, say, regular animation or, being in a film or anything like that, because you have to hit the lip movements of something that has been previously done. So it's a really hard skill, and there's a lot of people that can't do it. But you have to do that technical thing first, and then you're hoping that you're going to get your performance out of it, you know. But sometimes it's just in getting the lips into the right places, you know, and somebody saying, yeah, that's okay, you know, I'm going to take that take, you don't have to do it again.
I think it's fortunate too. A lot of people who, you know, the ones of us who do the dubbing and the all of that is the fact that we have an inner clock. You know, some people just can't connect with that, and they'll literally say, you know, can you shave off 1 second? And you have to have that knowledge, you know, just innately to know, okay, I'm going to take off 1 second, and that'll make it work. So it's all those little skills.
It's usually a kind of a musicality, people that have a sense of rhythm in some way. In fact, it's really funny because Steve Kramer, who's, you know, big voiceover actor, one time he was saying that every time the microwave goes off, he starts to talk.
That's good.
You know, beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, that's true.